Everyone, welcome back to another episode of Make America Civil Again. I am here with a good friend, a co-worker, and a good friend, Sarah. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I work with Manny at Challenger School, and I am currently a preschool teacher. I graduated from ASU with a degree in English literature, and I am here to just share some of my thoughts about an issue that I feel strongly about.
Today, we're going to talk about the Metoo movement. So, from what I know, that the Metoo movement kind of began with the thing with Harvey Weinstein, and women started feeling emboldened to share their opinions on or their stories about what happened to them sexually. But from the little bit I talked to you about, it goes back a little further than that.
Yes, it actually goes back a lot further. The whole Me Too movement actually started in 2006. So it started just as a way for sexual assault or harassment survivors to come together so that they know that they are not alone.
Okay.
Because so many people, especially back around that time and even before that, were afraid to come forward, afraid to say what had happened to them because of the society we are in likes to sometimes blame the victim. Harvey Weinstein is where it really blew up on social media, especially Twitter.
All right, so the Me Too movement started back in 2006.
Yes, just really as a way to bring solidarity to the survivors, give them other people to talk to who had experienced their same things and help them heal.
So it was more of a community thing, like, hey, I'm with you,
Yes.
I've experienced this, I can help you walk through this tragic situation.
Yeah, and I think it's important that people realize that's where it started from, because when you talk to people about the Me Too movement, it's very opposite ends. I wasn't aware of the Me Too movement until Harvey Weinstein, but then I did research on it because I wanted to know more, and I discovered that it had started over a decade ago, and that I just feel like really changes it, because nowadays I feel like a lot of people hear Me Too and they brush it off as a extreme feminist thing.
Yes.
Which is not what it is.
So the Me Too movement originally was separate from rape culture.
I believe so. I would say it definitely started off as two different things.
Okay.
Now, I'm not so sure if we could really separate them.
Okay.
Because it has just gone into, they just meshed together so much that I feel like now they kind of go hand in hand.
All right. What specific story got you involved in wanting to know more about the Me Too movement?
Well, I think it was Brock Turner. I think it was in 2016.
Okay.
He was a college athlete, and at a college party, a little bit intoxicated, and he sexually assaulted a young girl. She was also intoxicated. I'm not going to pretend that she wasn't. But he was assaulting her while she was basically unconscious. And two, I think it was Swedish men saw him, recorded part of it, and ran him off, basically. And what really got me was, at first, there was talks of him having a 14-year sentence. What he wound up with was a 6-month sentence, only serving 3 months of it. I don't think 3 months was nearly enough time for that. Yes, he will be registered as a sex offender for the rest of his life, but I don't think that's enough. Like, I have one of my close friends who told me about her situation about a year ago. And I was the first person she told. It had happened a while before, and I'm not even sure if she's told anyone since telling me.
Wow.
And one thing that I also want to say, which could go with Brock Turner and kind of tie in with Brett Kavanaugh, is I heard a lot of people say, well, they're young. They don't know what they're doing. If we have teenagers getting tried as adults for theft or murder even, why, when it comes to sexual assault, is it, well, they were young, they didn't know what they were doing?
Yeah.
Why is, oh, he wasn't thinking clearly for one and not the other? And I will say that there are probably a lot of girls and women who, do get drunk, say yes, but then regret it the next day and try to turn it around as like, no, I didn't say yes. And I'm not going to pretend that doesn't happen.
Okay.
It totally does. I disagree with it. I don't think that should be happening because they are the ones who discredit movements like this.
So then that discredits people later on.
Yeah.
It's kind of like,
which is why I also think some women are afraid to come forward.
yeah, because no one would believe.
People wouldn't believe them. And with some of these cases, how they, like the 3-month sentence, like that's, like, why would you go through all of that to have something as light as that?
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. No, the sentence doesn't fit the crime.
Right.
So, like, do you think a lot of women don't come forward because they feel embarrassed, maybe?
I think that's definitely part of it. And especially because I've seen so many things, heard so many things about people saying only promiscuous girls get raped. Like, if you're a good girl who does what you're supposed to do, then you're fine. Mm. So if people are thinking that way, then I can understand why people wouldn't want to come forward. They don't want to be viewed as that type of person when they're not.
Yeah.
Me Too is not just for women. I think it's really important that we talk about the fact that men also experience sexual assault as well. I don't think it happens as often as it does for women, but it is something that happens. And I don't think it's right to have a movement concerning a specific issue that affects both men and women, but only advocate for the women.
What's your thoughts on the whole Dr. Ford and Brett Kavanaugh situation?
I do believe that she experienced some type of assault. Mm-hmm. I read somewhere that she stated she couldn't remember if it was Brett Kavanaugh or not. If that is the case, then I think it's hard to bring a case against someone if you're not even sure that's the person who it was. With that case, it's hard to come to a sound conclusion because, yes, a lot of people don't come forward when it happens. They will come forward later. But the timing of that is just so suspicious.
Yeah.
And that there was a lot of inconsistencies in the story. In that case, I do believe something happened to her, but I do think there was more of a political agenda.
So what do you think about this whole, like, believe all women?
Yeah, no, I don't agree with that. Okay. I think initially, if someone says, I was assaulted, do not brush it off. Believe that. But then do your due diligence, and if it does go to a court case, you are innocent until proven guilty. But just to straight out believe whatever any woman says just because without any evidence, I don't think is right either. Okay. Because there are cases of false accusations, and that's not right either.
All right, so everyone, thank you once again for joining us on Make America Civil Again. Sarah, thank you so much for taking your time and coming to discuss the Me Too movement. But before you go, we have to get a little plug-in for yourself. You have your own YouTube channel.
I do, yes.
And what is that about, real quick?
So my YouTube channel is called Sarah Reads, and like I mentioned earlier, my degree is in English literature, so reading is my passion. Best thing in the world, in my opinion. So basically what my channel is I read books, and instead of writing a book review, which actually I do that too, I have a blog that I write reviews on, and then I film book reviews.
Well, I'll definitely check it out.
Thank you.
And you have to finish 1984 still.
I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
But definitely, I will put a link to your channel on the bottom there.
Thank you.
So don't forget to go check some of her videos out. If you're definitely into reading, which you should be, if you're a good person, you would. But don't forget to like and subscribe down here and check out her channel. And hopefully we'll see you guys again next Wednesday. Until then, peace out. Bye for now.